Hello guys, welcome back to today's episode of my podcast. Today I'll be focusing on the main theme of identity and individualism. Today I'm here with a special guest, Lewis George.
Hello everyone, as you just mentioned, I am his guest for today. Can't wait to get started.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
So I am typically a gamer,
Yeah.
so I love playing video games.
Yeah.
I do it semi-professionally.
Yeah.
I just love gaming. I love sports as well, so
Yeah.
football. My football team Portsmouth, not doing great,
Yeah.
but we roll with the punches. Gaming and football really.
You're a full-time student at QMC. You also got a comfortable job at Mackey's.
Yeah.
How are you finding everything, balancing it all out?
So it's a little bit hectic.
Yeah.
There's I don't have a day off at all, but I love it. It's great. I like actually always being hands-on and doing every stuff. So
So today, as I previously mentioned, I'll be talking about identity and individualism and how a 16 to 19-year-old views those sensitive and controversial topics. So my first question for today is, how do you define identity and individualism, and what factors have mostly influenced your development?
So I view my identity as a whole as yourself. So what you do personally is your own individualism and your own identity. And how did I explore it? How did I?
Mostly has influenced you. So throughout your time, what have you done, accomplished, that has helped you develop to who you are today?
Okay, so when I was younger, I started playing football when I was like 5. Won a lot of trophies of like being best defender. This was for like a low league, so nothing special. So that's how I've gotten better at playing football and love the sport as well. I'm doing it from a young age, supporting a team from a young age. And also when I was younger, I had a PS3 from my dad for Christmas, joint one, and that's why got the love of gaming. Was just playing that all the time, and so that's where I've got my stages of my identity from.
So would you say those key factors of participating and engaging with lower league football and retro gaming on your PS3 have helped you develop over time?
100%, 100%. Because if I weren't to have played on the PS3, then I wouldn't have wanted to game later on in the line. I wouldn't have wanted the Xbox 360. I wouldn't have wanted the other stuff that I've got now. So I wouldn't have been as invested because I started from very young. So like I grew up with the technology. I grew up with the gaming. And same with football. I started when I was really young. Started having a kickabout, was loving it, and that's where I've just got the love of the game from. Like just playing and engaging within both of these different sectors have made me love it.
So one thing, as you said, about how you grew up with technology and retro gaming, how would you say technology have impacted you? As when you were little, you grew up on the PS3, Xbox 360, and now as an 18, 19-year-old, you're on a PS4, PS5, Xbox 360, Xbox Series X. How would you say that has formed over the years and shaped your identity?
So obviously the technology wasn't as great when I was younger, so we were playing on low graphics, really low FPS and stuff like that. So it was very nostalgic looking back at it now, but there it was ahead of the time, very advanced. But throughout, all the graphics have improved. You can now do 4K, you can run 120 on consoles, and especially with these gaming PCs, especially the one that I've got, you can run whatever and whatever you want. It's definitely helped with my identity a lot more, because me growing up with the technology, it's got me better at the games that I play. Therefore, I'm loving it even more.
Very inspiring, all of that.
Exactly. So it's just my gaming skills grow as the technology grows because of the amount of like FPS you can run, the graphics you can run, everything like that. So it's definitely helped a lot.
As a friend of yours, I would definitely say over the course of 2 years we've been friends, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been hard.
I would say that you have definitely advanced in your creativity, technology, skills, definitely like recording, all of that. You have massively improved. And would you say that is mainly because you grew up on technology when you was younger?
It could be. Yeah, it definitely has a factor. Due to I know what I'm doing with it, and also because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I loved learning about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing it evolve, so I'm trying to watch it evolve. I'm trying to learn how it evolves. So it definitely has a really big factor within it. But yeah, it could do. And I just love the industry as well. I love technology and stuff. So
I heard from a friend of yours that you're very passionate about learning to drive, and you're currently learning to drive.
yeah.
How would you say that have helped you maybe have a goal in the future or develop your identity? How would you say that driving is like impacting you?
So driving is obviously a goal towards what I want to do. So the goal within driving is obviously passing. That's the final goal, and getting a car. So that's definitely in the short term. But in the long term, it's being yourself. Like you can do whatever you don't have to rely on anyone. So that helps you form your own identity. You can go out, do whatever. You can, if you want to go to the gym, you can go to the gym. You don't have to rely on anyone else. So it really helps you become who you want to be as you have that freedom.
Yeah, it helps your identity form. You're more independent, you're more freedom, all of that.
100%. Yeah.
So my next question for you in today's podcast of identity and individualism. In what way do demographic factors such as culture, religion, gender, social background shape how individuals understand each other?
Okay, so with the religion,
Yeah.
so obviously there are certain religions spread across the world, and it helps create their own identity. So if you are a Muslim, you have certain aspects and different things that you have to cater towards. So you can't eat different certain meats, you have to eat in a different way. So that helps you form your own identity, as it's so much different to the majority of the world. Also with the culture, that sort of goes hand in hand. So with the culture in the Eastern world, it's so much better than the Western world, due to all the different events they have going on, all the different holidays they have, all the different vibrant colours as well. So it really, depending on whereabouts you are in the world and depending on your religion, it definitely helps a lot with them forming their own identity. So
one thing I don't know if you may agree or disagree, I think even though we are like the same people despite skin colour, we all have the same blood, bone, tissue, all of that. But one thing I really like about identity and all of that, it helps us differentiate ourselves with each other. Because you, as a 16 to 18-year-old, you've got very different views, opinion, hobbies, interests towards myself.
100%.
And I think that is very important, because identity helps each other expand and become different.
But you can also be connected with your identities as well. So as you've mentioned, like you can be separated due to identity. So I am an individual and my hobbies and goals are different to say you. But then they could also help us connect because we've got the same goals, we've got the same inspirations, the same hobbies, everything like that. So it definitely helps in two different ways. It can cross change.
So would you say identity is more positive or negative in your opinion?
Positive. It can help you become with a group of people, but it doesn't. Like you also have your own personality. You're not known as the guy in that group. You're known as someone who's a part of this massive group.
How would you react or think about someone that said identity is negative because many people think we should share the same identity, like what we're seeing now in Western and Eastern parts of the world, due to them having different views, opinions and identity, it's causing conflict How would you say about all of that?
Well, that I think it's a lot more than just identity with what's going on in the world. But if say someone walked in and they were like, it's a bad thing having your own identity. Why? Why is it a bad thing? You, as mentioned, you can be a part of a massive, great community who love, say, gaming, as I am. I love gaming, so everyone's a part of this gaming. If you didn't have an identity, like how would you be with people? Like, how can you socialise?
I think one thing that like influences it, I don't know as yourself, but I think social media has a massive impact on a person's identity and how people think, react, all of that.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely, social media is not great for spreading these bad narratives and bad information.
Over the recent years, we saw like influencers like Tommy Robinson like expressing to people how because someone has a different identity that isn't correct, and he's pushing more and more people to spread awareness and become more hatred, conflicting, all of that. How would you view or think about how he's using social media to form someone's identity?
It's very manipulative.
Yeah.
Because he's got this platform, he feels like he can use it in a way that is wrong.
Yeah.
Because why is he trying to spread everyone to hate? There's no need.
Yeah. So for my next question, how can different communities experience identify differently within the same society?
Okay, so a bunch of different communities all together in one.
So how can people that, like, you're studying in full-time college, as you can tell, there's many people that support different religions, they're in different cultures. How do you think that their identity can like mix with other identities?
Okay, so it could be because of what you mentioned.
Yeah.
They could be all in college. They could have certain hobbies. They could be run events, and they all like the events, such as drawing or like colouring. You can host these good events, and you can become one. You can all be socialised. There's lots of ways that you can do it, especially with if you're studying. You can have a study partner from anywhere. So there's definitely a lot that you can do to try and become one, become all together within the society.
So would you say it's better to be in an external like environment with people with different identities because it helps you expand your networking, all of that?
100%, yeah, 100%, because you know networking is great. If you have a great network, and you can go very far, and it's not just networking, it's understanding and not being a bigot. You need to, like, you can learn so much about someone else's identity. If they are from the Eastern world, you can learn about all of these massive festivals they do run, what they actually mean, because we see it at loads of colour, but why are they doing it? Are they celebrating? Are they resting? Like, we have no idea. So there's a lot that you can learn from it. So,
So, in your opinion, would you say that the media theorist David Gauntlet is correct about identity? How instead of being born with your identity, it's constructed and formed over the years through social media and external events like college, your job, all of that?
100%. So you don't just born with an identity and then go with it. You adapt, you change, you find a different hobby, and that's your identity. Your identity is this hobby, this job, this food you like, this football team you support, whatever. So you definitely change your identity throughout your whole life, especially with the people you meet. If you meet new people, they can bring along and they can show you this massive hobby that they like, and you didn't realise you liked until you've done it. So your identity is always constantly changing, adapting, due to the people you meet.
So how would you say being in full-time education and working at McDonald's, isn't it leisure park you work at? How would you say both of them external environment helps you build your identity and networking?
So with the networking, you meet loads of people.
Yeah.
You here at college, there's loads of different opportunities around that you can use. You can use the teachers to help you with that. You've got loads of, like in the space that we're in right now, we've got that. So that's definitely helped with the networking side of things, especially with McDonald's as well. You can learn, you can develop as a member of staff there. And then with my own identity, with the gaming aspect, I am now the stream manager. So that's helped me form my own identity. I run a part of the building, so that's great as well. And also with the courses I do, it's going to help me in the future for when I go to university. It'll help me with my own identity there.
Okay, perfect. So for my next question in this podcast interview about identity, how important is it to be authentic rather than pretending to create an identity when you're with people?
Well, yeah, you never really want to be fake because they can probably see through it. And if you say you like something that you don't, you're never going to enjoy it. If they do take you to a hobby of theirs and you say, oh yeah, I love that, you're never really going to enjoy it. You're never going to actually feel like you fit in. So you never want to try and lie about your own identity.
So for yourself, when you're with a group of people, maybe your own age group or different people, are you more likely to be authentic and yourself and not care about what other people think? Or are you a person that will try and transition or manipulate their identity to fit in with others?
I would say I'm mostly authentic. Myself, but then there's obviously some occasions where anyone has it, peer pressure, and there you sort of feel like you have to change into like what you like, what you don't like. But majority of the time, especially in recent years, when past 3 years from being in college, I've been fully authentic. It's more when you're younger, you feel like you have to do stuff. Because you're like, oh, I won't fit in then. But here at college, you can fit in no matter what, because there's so many different aspects of groups and identities that you can fit within. So there's no need to be manipulating your own identity.
Like, for example, driving. Many people in college at the moment, like yourself, are trying their hardest to learn to drive and get that license to help build your identity.
100%.
Because not only is it good to build your identity, getting that license, but it also helps getting a job and just building independence.
Yes, independence is great for your own identity because, as previously mentioned, you can do anything and you can really express yourself when you are independent and when you're not relying on others. So, yeah, it's great.
So, would you say that social media has a massive impact on whether someone is authentic or they try to change their identity when mixing with other people?
Yeah, it definitely has got its occasions where it feels like you have to do this, you have to do that to fit in.
But many people, they don't realise the outside world. They're too focused on like the app like TikTok, Instagram, all of that isn't actually like real world.
No.
It's just a small app on a mobile phone, but so many people are addicted to social media, getting likes, comments, all of that. And how would you say your is? Would you care about social media or anything like that?
Well, it's a bit of both. So I don't like the fact that people change their own identity and goals and everything and what they are aspired to due to it because it's very manipulative. It tells you fake news and everything.
Yeah, because social media shows you the good, but it doesn't show you the bad.
It never shows you the bad. However, if you are trying to become a content creator or anything, you really do want to worry about the likes and the comments, but you don't want to do it in a way which is very unhealthy.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin your mental health, physical health over social media.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I read in a recent article about 52% of people worldwide have about 14 hours or more on technology, including social media and their mobile phone. How would you say you are to that, and what can be done, or how important is it to have screen time or less screen time?
So it's definitely helpful in ways. So if you are, so I would probably have 14 hours a week within doing coursework.
Yeah.
So that's how technology is really great. But having it purely on social media is very, very unhealthy. You don't really want to just be there, just looking at all this fake narratives, fake news.
Fake dopamine, all of that.
100%, yeah.
The one thing I've realised, it's not just one day, it's like every single day people are spending 14 hours on that, and they don't realise it, but they could be investing that time to maybe do something productive, like football activities like yourself, or meeting new people. But people like yourself that are aged between 16 and 18, they only focus on like social media.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, it's a dopamine. They love it because the dopamine that they get from it. It's very easy as well because you can literally just swipe your fingers and just you have a new video and it's short or it could be long. It's really bad because, as you said, you can be investing that time into something really productive. You could even do all the work you need to do. You can start learning new skills that you want to develop. You can socialise. You can learn new hobbies, and there's a lot that you can do within that.
For my next interview question, what would you say to someone that is struggling to develop or form their identity and individualism? What would you say or do?
Go and socialise. As you might not feel like you fit in, but they can show you these hobbies that you might like. Then that can help you create your own identity through that. Also, everyone, even if they don't feel like they've got their own identity, if you have a hobby, if you're doing something, that is your identity. Your identity is this. You are doing whatever.
Well, many people say that at a young age it's very difficult to fit in with other people due to the high expectation and requirement. Like so many people like your age, they focus on getting their driving license, getting courses done, getting the grades they need to go to uni and all of that. But they don't focus on their own identity because they're too focused on other things.
100%. And I feel like that is what's happening as well to me personally as well. No time to try and focus on this football that I'm going to do, or the gaming aspect of it. It's very, you do feel like you're swaying away from your own identity when you do become in college.
And would you say that you have ever experienced or currently feeling like you are struggling with your identity and forming it due to college expectation, all of that?
No, because you can, just because you're focusing on different things, so because I'm not gaming or because I'm not playing football, doesn't mean that I don't still love it and that's still not a part of my identity. It just means that my focus is on something else, which is short term. College, here for 2 years, it's very short term. However, with gaming and football, as we mentioned in the first question, it was throughout my whole life. So you can, I don't think you can ever really lose that part of your identity, but trying to form a new one is where it becomes difficult.
So with identity, would you say that over the years you lose some of your identity to make your new identity? Or do you think once you have formed an identity, it continues throughout your whole life?
I think it's a mix of both. So it can just, it depends on how you feel personally about this, whatever you were doing that helped you form this identity. If you don't care about it anymore, that probably does just fade. But if you say you did do something, you really like it, but you physically cannot do it anymore, that could be seen as still a part of your identity. So it's definitely a mix.
Because like you said earlier, your family and you grew up with support in Portsmouth. How has support in Portsmouth developed your family connections and your identity? Does it create memories or anything like that?
100% create some really nice memories. When I go to the game with my brother, my granddad as well, it was really nice to go with my family, granddad, my mum, my brother to the games, and you definitely feel like you're a part of a community as
Yeah.
well because of it. So when you support a team, you definitely feel
Yeah.
connected, feel a part of something social
Yeah.
that is everyone's identity. So yeah, it definitely helps create these memories and
Yeah.
forms more identity.
So for my next question, can shaped experience with different demographical groups strengthen collective identity while still allowing the room for individualism?
Yeah, 100%. Because you can definitely grow loads of different identities within the room,
Yeah.
but you can still also develop your own.
Yeah.
You can still care about your own. You don't always have to be a part of a group of
Yeah.
identities forming as one. So there's definitely can do both here.
Okay, nice. And my last question for you, how does social expectation influence the way individuals think and expresses their identity? Because many people in the older generation say that people who are social media influencers often create trends, markets that many young people like yourself follows, and people don't really create their own identity. They rather just follow someone else and just usually refer to following the sheep. How would you say about that?
So yes, you can form it socially through all the social medias, but it's never always going to be through social media. And there are ways that the younger people create their own aspects of life and different identities towards the ones of the social media.
Like yourself with gaming and all of that.
Yeah, 100%. So there is ways that you can do it.
So that is everything for today, guys. Do you have anything you want to ask me before we wrap up this podcast?
What would you say your identity is? What builds up your own identity?
I think developing my own identity has been a struggle due to when I was a young child, I lost my father at 10 years old, and I think that's massively shaped me because it encouraged me to have like a burning sensation inside to find success. So I always struggled in education. I don't know about yourself. Like I struggle in education, but having and knowing the feeling of making my dad proud, I always wanted to do better and make him happy. And I've also done that throughout, like working, because I've worked various jobs, and it has taught me very different skills from like communication, leadership, all of that. Because as a child, I was very shy, and I didn't really form with anyone. I was like what many people are today. I would sit on a console for 15 hours, not talk to anyone. But over the time, going to different jobs, I formed my identity, I got more comfortable, I was able to speak to people. And then I think around 16, 15 years old, I decided to take it up a notch, and I decided to go in the very friendly and external environment known as the gym. And it massively built up my self-confidence.
That's good. So it was what was happening when you were younger, and then because of what happened, you felt like you wanted to really grow and make your dad proud, so that helped you build your own identity through that.
Even though I don't know how he would feel about me nowadays, but sadly passed away, I genuinely think he would be proud. During my time in college, I was getting good grades, my attendance was up, I've also got my driving licence, I'm able to drive, so my identity is like independent, freedom, all of that. But I've also been able to build new friendship and all of that. Like yourself, because we've been friends for 2 years.
Yeah, since the project that we done for media, so
And I do agree with what you said earlier about how college does help people form their identity and meet new people with networking skills.
So, what would you say are your main hobbies and interests then?
So my main hobbies at the moment is playing football. I've recently wanted to join a football team. I play for a team called Beggarwood FC as a goalkeeper. So I've been able to find new people, bond with new people, all of that. I'm a big Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
We're not doing so well like Portsmouth either, but I developed supporting Liverpool at a young age from my dad, of course, and family.
Yeah.
I've been to Anfield many times.
Yeah.
Has created memories not only for myself but for my family. I've got family that lives up north,
Yeah.
and every so often I go up to Liverpool, and I've also got friends up there, all of that. So my three main things I would say is supporting Liverpool,
Yeah.
making my dad proud,
Yeah.
and what would be my third one? Probably like something creative, like building Lego.
Okay.
Because as a young child, I used to play with Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
building Legos with my father,
Yeah.
my siblings, because I got 13 siblings, and I
Really?
very much.
Wow.
So I think just all of that would sum up who I am. So
Yeah.
I'm very friendly, I like talking to people, meeting new people, all of
Yeah.
that. So thank you guys. So a big thank you to Lewis, our featured guest, who has kindly spent some of his time with our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Catch up with our next podcast next week, where I will be having a different featured guest, also known as Brandon Moore, who is about 20 to 30 years old. And have a good one, everybody, and see you next week.
See you later.